Okay, hopefully you can hear me okay, and hopefully we're recording okay. We are very thankful to be part of the ICP 2020 conference, obviously virtually this year. Hope you're having a good day so far. Hope you've enjoyed the rest of the presentations today. We would love to be in person, but obviously that can't happen at the moment. We look forward to a time in the near future, hopefully, that we can do this in person. I can catch up with everyone as we did last year. Virgin Pulse has been working with the ICP for a number of years now. For those of you that don't know who we are part of the Virgin Group, and we run wellbeing technology and health technology for the companies that we work with. We've been working around schools for about 16 years. And so we do know schools, we've worked with schools, and we love seeing the improvements that we have in schools and teacher populations across the world where we work with. At our core, what we want to do is really drive behavioral change that helps your employees. And we know that when you have a happy, healthy staff base of teachers, that they'll take care of your school. And so that's our goal in what we do. When we met in 2019, I was fortunate enough to be in China for the conference last year. I'm really thankful for that time with you all, being able to get in front of you and talk to you a little bit more about wellbeing and more about Virgin Pulse. When we looked at 2019 and why we focused on wellbeing, we looked at, people having to do more with less, schools being less resourced than ever. We looked at job design and we talked about how we can't really change job design, but maybe we can focus on things that really improve our days. When we fast forward to 2020, we had no idea of the impact that the virus would have had on us as individuals, our families, our schools, our communities. A lot of schools have, had a really tough time. You've had to pivot. You've had to be agile. You've gone from remote learning. You've gone from classroom learning to remote learning, and then some of you have gone back again. I know a lot of schools have had to redesign their curriculum this year just to be able to support students in all the different facets that we've had to this year. That's caused increased stress. It's caused increased anxiety. It's caused people to, feel really disconnected with their communities, their schools, and with their colleagues. So we hope that throughout 2020 that you and your family have been safe and well. We know that when we look at surveys from across the world, that there are, increased challenges with loneliness. Loneliness was already one of the challenges, but we know that the impact of COVID has increased that feeling of loneliness that people have. We know that there have been massive changes in people's work and people's lives overall. They've had to adapt, and it's just not something that people would have normally had to have adapted to. And this idea of the new normal, we know, is not normal at all. So that's been a challenge for everyone around the world. And we know that that communities, the governments are legislating every day. We're seeing decreases across the world in the spread of the disease, and we're hoping that we'll get to a point where very soon that we go back to some sort of normality. In the meantime, these things around COVID, we can't really control. We can't control how the pandemic will grow or decrease over the coming weeks and months. But some of the things that we can control as hopefully the culture in our school environment, hopefully the culture of the people that around us, and hopefully we can focus on the things that really, help us stay positive as we take care of our staff and our students. So what I wanted to do today was really just talk through 5 quick tips to creating that great culture. And a lot of these things you'll be doing in your own schools, but here serves a really good reminder and a couple of key points that we would make as tips. So the first one we would say is to boost communication. We know that communication is essential in creating connections, and we know that through this time in particular, people have felt disconnected to their work, their friends and families. And so we would encourage you to increase that communication. And you can do that through simple things like regular chats and in groups, creating some groups. We'd say use technology for good and not evil, making sure that we are limiting the use of technology, but using it when and as we need. And educating people on the importance of increased communication and maybe over communicating at this time. Our second tip is to really encourage an open environment, an environment where people feel empowered to speak out. And it's not just the survey. Sure, surveys are great, and throughout the work that we've done a lot of surveying of people. Surveys are great, but what we're saying is remove those barriers. Let's not put people in front of screens unless we need to. Let's open the lines of communication and really let people feel like they have a voice, feel like they're being heard. And from a leadership point of view, that really helps to encourage that transparency and create hopefully a judgment-free environment. Tip number 3 is to prioritize health and well-being. If you're not prioritizing health and well-being now, then when will you? We know that stress and anxiety levels are through the roof. We know that people's lifestyles have changed as a result of COVID. We know that they are moving less, they're doing less, that they might be not making the right choices around nutrition, and sleep's been a challenge as well. So we would say focus on those things, help invest in employee well-being, use technology, which helps bring people together, develop champions networks, develop networks around the school that really promote the idea and promote the notion of well-being. Tip number 4 is to reward and recognize. We know that budgets are tight, but it doesn't cost anything to tell someone that they've done a good job. It doesn't cost anything for a small shout out and a recognition to let people know that they are valued and that this is the culture that we want to bring to our school. It can be as simple as a small shout out. It can be putting on a lunch for your team. But what we'd encourage is to do something around reward and recognition. Tip number 5, and the last tip, is don't forget the fun. It's too easy really to switch on the TV or listen to the radio and hear about all the doom and gloom happening around the world. But what would be great is, for your employees, for your staff to have something fun to look forward to, put something in the calendar. And it can be as simple as hosting a trivia session. It can be simple as a dress up day that just bring a little bit more fun to each person's day, and maybe something that people can look forward to. We would also suggest, a virtual trip around the world. Virgin Pulse, we're really good at doing those virtual journeys around the world for a bit of fun. And in terms of fun, I'd like to introduce you to Virgin Pulse Go. Virgin Pulse Go, when I think about those 5 tips around creating great culture, Virgin Pulse really ticks the number of these boxes. VP Go replaces the global challenge that I'm sure you're all familiar with and have taken part in the past. And it really helps, it's a program that helps boost those communications that I spoke about. focuses on well-being, recognises people, and at the end of the day is also a lot of fun. It starts with the Virgin Pulse Go program, starts with the individual, and it really speaks to their drivers around, personalised well-being, as well as holistic well-being, which is really important in driving that engagement in any program. It offers challenges as you would have experienced in the global challenge, but also social groups have been added now, so people can communicate across groups. And there is a digital coaching program called Journeys in there, which really helps people focus on, really specific personalised wellbeing goals that they're focused on. Overall, it also delivers holistic outcomes. And if your focus is either physical, mental, financial, community, or workplace wellbeing, there is something in Go for everyone and every school that takes part. Over the years, ICP has been involved in a number of the challenges, and the challenges have yielded great results for ICP over the years. 2020 is no different. You've had some excellent movements in your results, people feeling less stress, people increasing their activity, improvements in sleep and being more productive. So some really great outcomes that ICP has seen over the years. 2020, again, has been one of those years. But at the same time, 2020 has been a challenge for us. We've got less members and less schools involved this year. We would love to have more. And we understand that 2020 has been a challenge in many different ways in trying to get programs rolled out. So we understand that. What we would love is for you to come back in force in 2021. Now is a good time to start thinking about it. It's a good time to start planning about it. Me and my team are here to support you with content, resources, whatever it is that you need to help get the program started, get it communicated across your teachers and your staff members, and really help drive, those wellbeing outcomes that we spoke about. Our next start date is the 24th of February 2021. So it's a really good time when a lot of schools just coming back for the year at that time, and a good time really to have that strategic focus for the year. I'll wrap up there. I just did want to say a last thank you very much for your support over the years. We know it's been a difficult time. We really hope that you, your families, your team members are all keeping well and taking care out there, and look forward to a day, hopefully soon in the future, where we can really be in front of you and talk to you as we have in the past. Thanks for your participation today.
For organisations around the world looking to improve employee well-being and create a culture of health, Virgin Pulse is proud to introduce VP Go, a holistic solution built to drive well-being and engagement for your entire workforce. VP Go is a turnkey solution that can be rolled out in just days, with minimal internal resources required. It can enable organisations like yours to ensure the health and safety of your people, unify and engage your workforce, address whole person well-being, and help employees cope with change. Meet Sophie. Like many others, Sophie has been incredibly stressed and anxious. She is struggling to stay positive and is feeling disconnected from her. Fortunately, her company just launched VP Go. Maintaining a healthy routine was hard because of all the disruptions in her life, but the daily tip cards and habit trackers on VP Go have empowered her to kickstart a new healthy and safe routine, which includes relaxation breathing, be in bed and fruit is sweet. The camaraderie and social connection has been reinvigorated with VP Go's team-based destination challenge. The friendly competition and social support have motivated her to keep going and stick to her new daily routine. Through the flexible step converter, Sophie has found new ways of staying active and moving. And for the harder-to-learn behaviours like reducing stress or improving financial well-being, Sophie is taking it one step at a time with VP Go's digital coaching journeys. Having VP Go as a resource has not only enabled Sophie to navigate through this constantly changing time, but she feels more connected to her employer and prepared for whatever comes next. Do you have a Sophie in your workforce who could use the help to stay healthy, happy and engaged right now? Visit virginpulse.com to learn more.